all these expensive goggles the following week, and I'll tell you I so Pastor Slowdown, come on, hurry. Fast lane, I'm swimming with the professionals, put my goggles on, and I jumped into the pool, and I was like, I'm going as fast as I can. I had one problem, I couldn't see where I was going. It was dark, the water people were kicking me. I said, there's something wrong with the goggles. So I took it to the front desk, and I said, look, there's something wrong with these goggles. You need to replace them. So the blessed person at the front desk, they looked at it and they said, so there's nothing wrong with these goggles. All you have to do is peel these stickers off. That's what finger does. Finger blinds you. Finger blinds you from seeing the future that God has for you. Clarity diminishes when leaders get feeling. So, third one, clarity diminishes when leaders lose focus. Distraction derails clarity. Distraction derails clarity. One of the things I watch on TV to relax and to unwind is the program Air Crash Investigation. Anybody in this room, you enjoy air crash investigation? Raise your hand. I can't see anyone. What's the next story about this airline? Flight number 401, Eastern Airlines. They lost 101 people died on that flight simply because the pilot and the co-pilot were preoccupied with a burnt light bulb that forgot to fly the plane. They didn't realize that autopilot had disengaged and the plane was descending. So they were so focused on fixing this light bulb, they took their eyes off their mission. Listen to this carefully. If the enemy can't take you out, he will distract you. If he can't take us out, he will distract us. I see this happening in the church leaders all the time. We don't have focus. We're distracted. We go to a conference like this and you say, hey, what's the big guy out church? Oh, we're focused on discipleship. We're a discipleship church. Then you see them a few months later. Hey, how's the going? How's discipleship going? Oh, no, God's in the work. We have 200 leadership verse. They go, oh, great. Then you see them again in another. Now, we're going deeper. And you see them again. Focus. We don't stick to one thing, and everybody around us, they're confused. And I'm looking at wondering, what is wrong with everybody? This doesn't happen in the UK, only happens in New Zealand. Please pray for us. What I'm trying to say, focus matters. Clarity diminishes when leaders lose focus. Number 4, clarity diminishes when leaders fail to face the truth. We lose clarity when we fail to confront the brutal facts. When a person refuses to face reality, we call it denial. Jim Collins puts it this way: leadership does not begin with vision, it begins with getting people to confront the brutal facts and to act on the implications. Listen carefully, when we fail to do this, we make decisions based on assumptions rather than reality. Facing the truth is uncomfortable. It's painful, but let me tell you, it is so necessary. We can only be effective in our leadership when we are willing to accept ugly truth, brutal facts. That's how we find clarity. I was reading the story in the book of Jeremiah. We read about King Zedekiah of Judah. He was faced with an impending invasion by the Babylonian army. Jeremiah urged him to surrender and save the lives of those people. Zedekiah refused to face the reality of the situation and instead turned to false prophets and told them what he wanted to hear. Because of his arrogance and his refusal to face reality, it led to the destruction of Jerusalem and the exile of the people of Judah to Babylon. Can I tell you? Don't just listen to people that tell us what we want to hear.
Yeah.
We need people that will tell us the truth. Pastors, leaders, let's get people permission to tell us the truth. Anytime I have to make a decision, all of us, I really believe we need to ask ourselves the question, am I being completely honest with myself? I'm going to ask myself that question all the time. Because you can fool people, but you can't fool God. Am I being completely honest with myself? Number 5, clarity diminishes when leaders fail to navigate delays. Leadership is not just about mountaintops. It's about navigating valleys. Galatians 6:9, and let us not get tired of doing what is right. Well, after a while, everybody say after a while.
After a while.
After blessings, we don't get discouraged and give up. The most difficult part of that verse is where it says after a while. I mean, how long is after a while? Some of you are watching this wondering when this is going to finish. After a while. So sometimes after a while feels like eternity. After a while we reach our goal. After a while we feel we'll reach our destiny. I have learned and I have found that in our delays, God builds our character. God is God of process. Yeah. We're all about the destination. God's about the journey. Never forget the church I was leading in Auckland, pastoring in Auckland. I'll never forget we had this building that needed to be renovated. And my job was to go and get signatures from 6 neighbors around this property because it was going to be turned into a daycare center. The first 5 people signed the permission slip, no worries. When I went to the 6th person, he was of a different faith, and he said to me, no, I'm not going to sign this piece of paper. I was like, just going to give him 3 weeks, go back again. Just come on, took my wife with me. Like, hello, wife, beautiful lady, we're lovely people. Can we have your signature? He said, no, I can think about the children, the future of the world. You can't just sign this piece of paper. And he said, no. For 9 months, I kept trying. He kept saying, no, delay. I was so frustrated. I would drive to work, I would sit in the car, and I would pray this, Jesus, you said you will build your church. There's no building happening. So he needed me to remind him that he was doing his job. I was so frustrated. My attitude was bad. I was like, come on, it's happening. Now, next to on Wednesday nights as a church, we would have 3 meetings. We had 4 people that showed up to pray. It says when 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, we have 4 just to cover all bases. And we were like, we really get the signature. I'll never forget one Wednesday night. We started at 6, we finished at 7. At 7 o'clock, one of the ladies, she spoke up and she said, boy, I really feel we are Joshua. Say, now she's using the Lord now. She's like, I really feel the Lord say, we need to bounce like a man's house. And we need to march around 6 times. And then we show praise. She was praying. She was like, if rapture could have like thousands. What I want to do is actually asking you to I was like, very reluctant. I said, okay, God, I'll do it. And I'll never forget. We went there. No one's there. And I said to them, hey, I'm Joshua. You're the army. We're going to do only the first 6 times when they're very quietly. Say a word. Next time, I'll get the next morning when the staff members came and said to me, hey, boy, where were you last night? I said, where were you last night? Somebody dropped this piece of paper for you. And I looked at the piece of paper. Guess what? That was the 6th signature. Meaning, I said to her, when was this dog talk to you? She said, around 7 o'clock. And I realized that would be outside this house. What's God's timing? When the timing is right, often God allows delays to lead you to your destiny. Number 6, clarity diminishes when leaders cling to unresolved issues. Clarity diminishes when leaders cling to unresolved issues. Unresolved issues create fog, not clarity. Unresolved issues will cause you to get stuck in a rut. You can't move forward. You end up hurting people who are there to help you in this present season. I heard someone say this once. If you don't heal what hurt you, you'll end up bleeding on people who didn't cut you. In 2013, Shaz and I and our 6-month-old baby, we were actually at the summit. It's our first time traveling with a baby, so we had 7 suitcases. My wife packed everything you can think of, even the kitchen sink. We brought it with us from Auckland, flew to Vancouver to London. And my job was to always go and collect all the oversized baggage, which was all our suitcases. And on the way back, we stopped. Often I would go and wait for the bags to arrive. But on the way home, we stopped in Hong Kong for a moment. I'll never forget when we arrived in Hong Kong. As usual, I would go to the oversized baggage. And when I got there, I was blown away by their customer service. They had a big trolley with all our suitcases there. And I thought, man, this is the best airport in the world. If some of the other airports can learn, they can learn, especially parents with new babies, with a young baby. Oh, this is great. Chess was like, man, that was fast. I was like, why not? Tell me about it. I said, where are we? I wheeled this trolley out, and we met the shuttle bus driver. And he said, he was putting all our bags, and he came and said to me, Mr. Ratnaraja, I just want to let you know, you need to pay extra because you've got extra luggage. I said, I haven't got extra luggage. I've got 7 suitcases. I'll help you count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I said, whose bag is that? He goes, I don't know. Pull the trolley out, not me. And then I had revelation that nobody went out of the way to stack the Ratnaraja family suitcases in a trolley. I managed to bring out the oversized baggage trolley for the entire flight. In Hong Kong, outside, all panic broke. Sharon's panicking. Even my 6-month-old baby is looking at me going, you're not my father. They decided me. I said, right, what happens when this happens around here? He goes, I don't know. This has never happened with us. So I had to go back, and this lady, bless her heart, she was angry at me. She was yelling at me. I didn't understand what she was saying, but I can tell she was angry. And then she gave me a piece of paper and she said, write your name, your contact number, your email, we'll be in touch. I just been to the summit. I wrote, David Campbell. And I don't give a rip. God bless, Jesus loves you. Don't get suitcases mixed up around here. See you later. I said, Chef, we're going home. We're going like out the door. Here's a question I want to ask everybody. What are you carrying with you that should not be part of the journey? Some of us, we're carrying extra baggage that God never asked us to pick up. We're carrying offense. Not just our offense, we're carrying other people's offense. Pain, appointments. What are you carrying? What am I carrying with me that should not be part of the journey? Number 7, clarity diminishes when leaders lose sight of their why. We lose clarity when we lose our sense of purpose and direction. We lose our sight. When you lose sight of your why, you become disconnected from your people, your team, your church, your God-given mission. And I want to touch on this for a moment because Every week, I get an email or a text from someone from some part of the world who would send me an article of a church leader or a church that has ended up on the news because of something a church leader does. It breaks my heart because somehow we can all lose sight of our why. Why do I do what I do? What's my real motivation? Listen to this carefully. We need to realize that we are in the people business. People are priority. Our priority is not to build buildings. Our priority is to build people. And I look at these articles and I always ask myself this question: what can I learn from this? Because it can happen to any one of us. And very quickly, I'm going to give you 7 statements, and you're going to write as fast as you can. I'm not going to spend too much time, but they will explain what I'm trying to say as to why we can't afford to lose our why. Here's the first one. Number 1, write this down: lead people, not drive people. Lead people, not drive people. In 2019, when I was in UK, John Glass and I have been speaking at a leaders gathering, and John shared the story. I love the story. I was like, that will preach in New Zealand, and I shared it with Kevin. You can't come and tell the story because they will think you stole it from me. But anyway, I love the story. But John shared about this pastor who took this group of people, his congregation, to the Middle East. They were in the Holy Land, did the Holy Land tour, and the pastor did a study on Psalm 23, and he was talking to them about how shepherds in that part of the world would lead their sheep. And the pastor said, shepherds in this part of the world would lead their sheep from the front. And just as he finished, people saw this God leading his sheep, not from the front, but from behind. He was chasing these sheep up the hill, and he was like, what's going on here? They said, Pastor, we get confused. He said the shepherds lead from the front, but what's that guy doing? And the pastor was confused too. So he went over to the guy and said, excuse me, what's happening? I thought shepherds led from the front, but what are you coming back? And he said, sorry, I'm not the shepherd, I'm the butcher. Catch this. Shepherds lead, butchers drive. Shepherds lead, butchers drive. I often hear people say, my primary gift is leadership. Or people say, my primary gift is pastoral. Or my primary gift is that. Or my primary gift is that. It doesn't matter what your primary gift is. We are all called to be shepherds. Full stop. End of story. 1 Peter 5:2, keep for the flock that God has entrusted to you. Watch over it willingly, not grudgingly, not for what you will get out of it, but because you are eager to serve God. When I stand before my Creator, He's not going to ask me, boy, why did you not have a church of 1,000 or 5,000 or 10,000? He will ask me, what did you do with whom I entrusted you with? Lead people, not drive people. Number 2, focus on health, not size. Focus on health, not size. Often we say in church life things like healthy things grow. Let me tell you, that is absolutely true. But I also want us to know that unhealthy things grow as well. For example, cancer cells. Unhealthy cells can grow and become cancerous. Body fat can grow and expand our territory. I jump on the weight scale every day and I think to myself, oh my goodness, the armor of God is getting heavier and heavier. Control unattended can become unhealthy. Just because something is growing doesn't mean it's healthy. Healthy churches grow, and for sure, there's no doubt about it. Just because the church is growing doesn't mean it's healthy. Often we place an overemphasis on size rather than the health of the church. Can I tell you, if you get the health right,